Good afternoon and welcome to the cruise, amigos. We have amigo John. He's up there in Crookston, Minnesota, Danica the North, and ami- we have amigo. Where the hell is Martin?
The last picture I saw, they were eating burgers in a restaurant.
Okay, so amigo Martin has not found his way to the cruise amigos again today. At least yet. Now maybe he's tied up on a phone call. Let's see if he sent me a message. Let me look real quick. That's on Messenger and Martin. And no, I sent him the link for the show, and he has not sent. He said nothing. So I have no idea who or where Martin is today.
Kenneth is apologizing for missing your morning show, but we need to explain to him that it didn't matter. It was only for the deaf people anyway.
Yeah, folks, as usual, the old fat guy managed to screw up another show today. I mean, it wasn't terribly bad, but after my interview, which it was a wonderful interview, by the way, with Bethany, she's such a great person. It was a fun interview to do. Up there comes Amigo Martin. So I will save biting the bullet here till we get him. Something sounds terrible, Martin. You got you, you got some bad feedback there, Martin. Okay. Uh, well, wait a second. We'll try to add him back to the stream and see if he's still getting that horrible sound. Oh yeah.
Wow. It's just squeaks, Martin. Say
not.
hello. Say hello, Martin.
Say hello, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Are you even aware that you're on the air?
Hello.
Hello. Martin is he was sort of a wave. Try talking.
Hello, Martin.
Can you hear us, Martin?
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go. You started off screeching at us. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. We
2
can
seconds
hear
delay.
You now. Try that again. We could hear you, Martin. You cannot hear us. Did you just do that, John?
No.
Oh, so he blanked us out. They don't know what he's doing. Okay. All right. So we'll see if he comes back with us. In the meantime, Kenneth, I will tell you what I did this morning. After the interview with Bethany, I managed to cut myself off the air again. So I was almost 5 minutes with no audio again before I finally figured it out, got back on. In the meantime, 14 people called John and got him out of the shower. So he's running around the house naked, trying to tell me that I got no audio. At least this time I didn't hear from Hot Air Tom from South Africa.
Yes, yeah. It hasn't reached South Africa yet. The show hasn't got there yet. It's
But actually, I did, in fact, and it was totally me. I cut myself off the air.
You know, whether it's flying an airplane, steering a ship, or doing a podcast, it's usually operator error.
Yeah, well, it clearly was today, but I did discover it and got myself back on without any further troubles and went on with the show. And then when I got ready to upload the podcast, I had already taken it out. Now, Martin has come back on, so let's try again. Talk to us, Martin.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I don't know what you did wrong,
Oh,
but
give
at
up. I
first
give up.
you were screeching. You
I'm
sounded like a chicken.
having one of them days and one of them weeks this week, so I'm surprised.
That's what you sounded like, a squawking chicken.
I give up. So what did
I had to confess my sins, Martin.
Well, what have you done now?
I screwed up another broadcast this morning. I mean, it's just, at least once a week I screw one up totally.
Well, if you're doing them every day, you're entitled to that.
Apparently, Vegas is starting a betting line.
Yeah. The odds of whether I can get through a show.
I think we should start a book. Can Chili get through a whole week without screwing up?
That's right.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
That's it. $10 bets all in.
I'm in. Yeah, totally.
All right, so what's up with Martin? Anything exciting over there on that side of the pond?
No, nothing this week. It's just it's a bit of a null week, although I am really, really excited because I know you guys had a silly game last weekend where they throw the ball forwards and things like that, which I still don't get why you throw the ball forwards, because over here we throw it backwards. But our season starts this week, tomorrow, where we've got an away game and we've got a full concert before it, which is the first time I've ever had that. So a group called Scouting for Girls. Never heard of them, but it's something different and things.
I can tell you what, that no matter how bad they are, they're still better than the halftime show that was at our Sunday football game.
Who was it? Who was on it?
Well, it was a singer named Rihanna, and her last big hit was in 2005. So conceptually, she's a generation ago. Where you and I might think of Kenny Rogers or Lionel Richie or something, but apparently for the 40-somethings, she's like ancient history, and so they were bringing her back for her big hits. But I didn't recognize one of the songs. I got a kick out of how bad she was lip syncing. She'd have the microphone and it'd be down here around her waist, and yet the audio track was still going on with her singing. It was just.
But she did announce something on the halftime show.
Well, I heard that thing was just whatever it is. It's a concert which has a football game in the middle of it. You know what I mean? That's what.
And it has been. Sir Paul has done it. The Stones of Rolling have done it. There's been some. I think, did Michael Jackson ever do it one time back in the?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did back in the day.
His sister did one.
Well, his sister did one, and we saw more of her than we actually wanted.
Yeah.
Hi, Nikki. Welcome. But I just want to apologize because, the same thing. I wonder what they paid collectively to all of those dancers that covered an entire football field. And I believe that they were very skillful and trained dancers, that they certainly in sequence they were doing the moves. But so then you wrap them in like parachute bunting so that you can't see any motion in their body, from their neck down to their ankles and out to their wrists.
I didn't see. If I'm honest, I didn't watch it. I didn't see it. So
you spent.
And then she didn't announce it, but she showed it that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's a Super Bowl halftime show is a little unusual to announce that you're pregnant. I would think.
No. Well,
if I was pregnant, I could find better places.
If you were pregnant, I'd make $1 billion.
Well, we'd be sharing that, John.
Yeah, you'd be in on it, Martin.
Remember the show, Amigos, we share
the show would take an entirely new direction.
Oh, gee. No, but
you guys figure out how to do that to pay my damn plumbing bill this week.
Well, I want to know why us three weren't there at this show, because the VIPs, did you see those suitcases they got with all the stuff in it for just attending a football match?
A glam bag. Yeah.
Jeez. It was like a buggy, a child's buggy. I was like, are you taking, why? Why are all these things in it?
The advertisers have to get some value somehow.
Jeez, it's all about this Instagram, isn't it? And oh well, I'll say I got this product from you to my millions of people and whatnot and things like that. Doesn't matter whether you agree with it or whether you wanted it or not, or whether you ever use it again. Because
I wonder how many big people like McCartney. Do you think he took his glam bag, or did he? I've been at kind of concerts where it's 1% of that kind of thing, but the big players. Oh, thank you so very much. I just appreciate this. Whatever. I've seen them leave trophies and award plaques, and they just walk away. They could care less.
yeah,
Bonnie's with us also. Mike's with us. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. By the way, if any of you are in any kind of business, coming up here in a little bit, there's a new business scam going on, and we are going to release it here on the show. But go and get your hot cup of tea and your prayer cloth and everything, and gather around, because you really need to listen to the scam. Martin, I promise you that in the next couple of weeks they're going to call you about it, and you're going to be in the know. You're going to owe the Cruz Amigos for saving your wallet.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing.
So
that's right here on the Cruz Amigos. In about 4 minutes, we'll start this. So you have a chance to go get an adult beverage or a cup of tea. I don't have a prayer cloth.
I don't have a prayer cloth.
You can use this.
My chicken.
What's on your jumper?
He's got a goat.
Is that
with a German hat on it? You can't see both of them.
With a German hat. It's a yodeling goat.
Is it a goat or a sheep?
It'd be a sheep. Yeah, it's a ram, actually, if we want to be really specific.
A yodeling ram.
See, it's farm day. He's wearing a chicken. I'm wearing a sheep.
And I'm about to eat chorizo.
And I interviewed a lady that's just been out playing gaucho on a ranch in, was that in Uruguay?
Cucamonga.
Speaking of ranches, do you know what I want to do? And it is my ultimate bucket list, is the Calgary Stampede. I'd love to go and do that. It looks amazing. So
you have to have a red cloth. So you get out there and you wiggle your butt.
That's a bull ring. There's no red cloths required for the stamp. But I've been to the Stampede. I was at the Stampede when the latest grandstand was built. The first year the grandstand was built.
Right.
And you do know that during the Stampede, Calgary is known for having big bars. I mean, a 900-person bar. But instead of streaking, guys on horses will just come in the bar and ride around. This is part of the Calgary Stampede. Yeah, it's just amazing what they, it's just a free-for-all. People are very well-mannered. The Canadians are apologizing at every turn, but that's just some of the stuff that's going on.
Oh, it's something that I'm looking at maybe for next year.
Yeah. And then they have a pitchfork barbecue. Do you know what that is?
That just sounds really bizarre, and like you're going to get murdered or sacrificed.
You know what a pitchfork is, like for moving hay and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, imagine sanitized, sterilized pitchforks, and there's like 3 tines on them, and they take big ribeye steaks, and they put about 3 of them on each pitchfork, and then they put them in boiling oil. That's how they cook them. It's called the pitchfork barbecue or pitchfork jamboree.
They fry them?
Oh, it's... because the oil is hot, I'm telling you, you would not know that it came out of a vat of oil, but it happens in a couple of minutes, and the whole thing, that's the problem when you got to feed steak to 100 people. How do you get them all cooked but not overdone or whatever? And I mean, they've got this nailed, man. It's like so many seconds in that, and here's rare, here's medium rare, here's medium, here's well done. And it is some of the best beef eating you can do.
Well, I do love that. I do love my steak.
Well, you will have it better than you can imagine. The new popular thing is sweet potato fries rather than regular potato fries.
Right. Well, I'm in for that. I do like a sweet potato fry. As long as it's crispy. As long as it's a crispy one. I don't like them when they're all mushy and
soggy. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a good crispy French fry. So
I'm not particularly a sweet potato person at all.
Oh, see, and I love them Thanksgiving style with butter and dark brown sugar and just a little trimming of marshmallows for looks, but not for flavor. So,
What I really like with a sweet potato is doing over here we call it a cottage pie or a shepherd's pie. So instead of putting potato on the top, you put sweet potato.
yeah.
It's like that's really.
I might like it on like in shepherd's pie because there's enough in a shepherd's pie to kill the taste for me.
There's no point in having it then, is there, Chewy?
It would
There's no point in
blend
having
in
it.
enough with things that I really like to.
See, I do like sweet potato. No, I'm a big lover of sweet potato.
Well,
All
we
right,
thank you
so-
for that. One of the biggest sweet potato growers in the world is called Black Gold Farms, and their main office is just 25 miles to the west of me here.
No.
Yeah, that's
And they-
the next farm over, right?
No,
25
it'd be
Well,
3 farms over, but yes.
Three
but,
farms, 2 roads down.
Yeah, it's a family business, but they don't raise sweet potatoes around here. They raise regular. By the way, do you know what is defined as and you should know this. You're pretty close. What's an Irish potato?
An Irish potato.
The 10-word definition of an Irish potato is any potato that's not a sweet potato.
No.
Serious. So whether it's russets or
They're not Irish. Well, it depends.
Has nothing with growing the damn things in Ireland.
no. They got the name on it because there was a famine in Ireland, which caused the biggest migration. It might even be now, but there was more people in New York with Irish heritage than there was in Ireland because of the famine that happened.
See there, folks, you get this right here on the Cruise Amigos. Every week we get some useless bull.
Are there any cruise ships that settle into Ireland? Is there any call? Anybody call on Ireland?
Yeah, you get the odd few that go in. I mean, Ambassador Cruise Lines do a few. They're the old Cruise and Maritime, and NCL are doing a few this year.
Okay.
I think Celebrity have got one. Some of them that may go up twice, and may stop in like the likes of Cove or Cork, as it's known.
Sure.
And then some stop in Belfast when they do the British Isles cruises.
Okay.
So you got North and South, Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. So, but Cork or Cove, spelled COBH, and Belfast are the main ones. Dublin is more of a ferry port, really.
And the Irish folks, they've gotten over their hatred of you English folks, right?
Never. They'll never get over that. I have got a little fact for you. When I was in my younger days, I actually set up, are you ready for this, on a ferry, a car ferry going across the Irish Sea from the UK, Holyhead, to Dublin, called the Ulysses. It was the biggest car ferry in the world at the time. I set up the first Burger King at sea. So we actually had vats, vats of oil that were bevels. So as the sea moved, they wouldn't move or tilt.
Level it.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, so I set that up many years ago. I don't think it's still on there, but yeah, that was interesting. Spending like 6 months of my life at sea. That's why I could never be a captain and work on cruise ships. It was bad enough being on that thing for 6 months.
Now, were you the person that was running up and down the deck singing, "Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us"? Oh, yes, because that's you let us serve it your way.
No. That's not the words. It's hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, even perverts don't upset us.
Oh, I get that mixed up every time. All right, folks, it's time. John, tell us about this scam.
Well, and I have a lot of fun on the show, and most of the time you should only take the things that I say with a grain of salt or 2 grains of salt, but this is really serious. And I just want to prevent any listener of our shows from getting hooked in this, because it's a bad thing. And it takes 2 avenues as we get into the scam, but let me explain it to you. What's going to happen, first of all, is let's pretend it's Martin. Martin's going to get a call saying, we just think you're a really awesome guy. This is so-and-so company, and we do podcasts. And we would like to have you on as a special guest because of your expertise in the English travel market.
Okay.
And on the surface, of course, everybody's trying to promote their business. Everybody, wants to get a little free publicity. So you do that. And they say, well, we're going to do a 5. Now, here's the first thing that you should be worried about. The first interview is a 5-minute telephone interview. Well, we all know that, a telephone interview doesn't give the best audio quality, or it's just crap. No self-respecting podcaster would accept anything more than an emergency news clip of something happening. I mean, obviously, if a ship's on fire and you can talk to somebody there, you take it any way you can. But when we're doing a planned, we're going to promote your business podcast, you don't do that over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, as part of that, of course, we have to send you out a contract that, a release and everything. And it's quite long and it's really fine print. And in there, it says that should they do more work for you, that you will be charged at the customary rates, and that, it's basically not, it's a fixed contract. It's not unwindable or separatable. There's no touchbacks or there's no gimmies.
Weird.
But you don't think anything of it because they're not, you're not paying anything for it. You get this free thing. So you do the interview. The next day they call you up. Here's where it can split. The next day they call you up, and under scenario A, they tell you about how your show had more listeners and more people responded to it than they've ever experienced before. And they would really like to do 5 more shows with you. Real shows, real microphones, interviews, setup, everything. But obviously, for us to do this, there's costs. I mean, we have talent costs, we have equipment costs, we have internet storage costs. So there's a small fee for it, which you agree to, and you give them your credit cards.
There you go. There's the snag.
And people are reporting now that they've put, and it's usually about $5,000 to $7,000, because if you get into double digits on a credit card, oftentimes they won't run it through until they talk to the person and stuff. But, lots of people, even cruising people, it's not that far out of line to put $5,000 on your credit card. The credit card companies don't have enough employees to call on every $5,000 transaction. So, for what you thought was $129 or $299, there's various numbers out there, but they hit you with $5,000. Then you go to your credit card company and say, oh no, they screwed me. That's not the agreement at all. And they present the contract that you digitally signed on DocuServe, guaranteeing your signature that you signed. And in there is the text that says that they have the right to charge you at whatever rates and blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Now, the other path, that's one path of the scam. Another path is that when they're interviewing you, they start asking you all sorts of questions. And in those questions, they're getting enough information that they can go clean out your bank account. Because, in the dark net, I promise you, I can go and pay a few dollars and I can get your bank account numbers. I can probably even get your PIN. But I can't get who your mother-in-law is, or I can't get this, or I can't even get who your bank is. So in the interview, it's the smoothest, you just think that they're being personable and asking about your family and your children and where you bank and how good the bank is, because we're helping other businessmen succeed like you've succeeded, Martin, because obviously you've demonstrated that you are a cut above. You are an elite businessman, and they're so happy that you're willing to share this information with those of us that are just coming along and starting out, because we want to know the secret that you did.
Jeez.
And this is a machine now. This is not like a couple in a trailer house in Arizona somewhere. This is big enough that this is huge machine. When I say a machine, I mean there's presidents of the company and boards of directors and managers and sub-managers, and then the people that are working at the bottom of it. And imagine there's some people that are sitting in studios that are doing 5-minute interviews one after another, knowing it's a complete scam. But boy, they've got the questions to ask you and the empathy and the sincerity to just really make it a deal. So I'm warning every person, and if you have a son or a daughter that's in business, warn them about this, because it plays on people's ego think about it, Martin. I'm calling you up. Oh, Martin, we just saw you got another award, and we want you to meet all these elite people, and we want to hear from you. We want to know what's on your mind.
Mm.
And
it's easy to be reeled in. It really is sometimes, very, very easy. But then my advice to people is something seems good and too good to be true. It probably is.
Right, but this doesn't seem quite. I mean, even when they were calling me, this was in the midst of all the calls about Chili's sound not working again today. But they've called me on my travel telephone numbers. They've called me on my cannabis phone numbers, and they've called me on my regular marketing and business phone numbers.
Wow.
And each time they know something about me. It's funny, they never cross-reference that, geez, we've already talked to John Reitmeyer twice, But I'm sure what it is people are paid on a commission. They give them 1,000 names and numbers.
Mm.
And part of the person's job is to get on the internet and look up a little bit about John Reitmeyer or Martin, the travel agent. And away they go.
Jeez. I know on Facebook there's a group and a couple of guys, and they basically call out the scammers, and they've got all the software, and even to the point where they can tap into their computers inside where they are, and then they find out where they are, and they actually go, you're in this building, on this floor, in this room, and then they suddenly, oh shit, and then, sorry, I don't mean to swear, I don't normally, but when it's something like this, I hate it. But then it's like they get shut down really quick and things. It's horrible. Anybody who gets scammed, it really is horrible, and it shouldn't be happening.
And that's why we want to empower all of our listeners. And, as a thank you, send your money to John. That's box 6. Oh, and then Martin leaves. You left us, Martin. Where'd you go?
No, a call coming on my phone, and it knocked everything off. But yeah, he's been scammed. They've scammed Martin off us. For
$99.95, they'll turn your computer back on. Yes, but anyway, this is so critical. But this is it's smooth. When they called at first, the first glance, it sounds so legitimate. Well, we know that you have strong feelings about what's going on in the cannabis industry up there in Minnesota, and we've read your articles, and we just really want to share that with our 1 million person listenership. And I said, so you have 1 million listeners on your podcast? Well, we have 1 million followers. I said, so how many people listen? Well, 1 million a day. Well, that could be true because they have now thousands and thousands of 5-minute interviews that are on the internet. And so, if each one gets 100 listens over a period of time, that adds up to 1 million people.
Jesus.
But they're obviously not listening as a valid customer, or, it's just junk. It's just a complete scam. And folks, I beg you, I implore you, if nothing else, just give him my name. Say, well, I have a guy that does all this for us, and it sounds really good, but he's got to do the setup and everything. Just hand him off to me. I will string them out for days. Now that we know the game, we'll just.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like I love all the things that go around, like Instagram. I pop an offer out on Instagram. And every day on every offer, I get, sign up and we'll give you 2,000 extra followers for $30. It's like, no, I want my group to grow organically. I don't want paid people to be on there and things like that. And it'll be a scam anyway, because it'll be these people in a call center. They go, got one here. He's paid $30. All like his page. Nah, it's not right. There's so many different scams. I love it when they ring up and I wind them up. I'll keep them on the phone as long as I can. You know what I mean? It's like, what? You want me to do? Oh, really? Or the other one, the best one that I've ever done is when the phone rings and there's something in the UK you can use and it comes up with scam caller. So when they pick it up, I go, it's done. They're dead. And then just go quiet and then the phone just can't cuts off.
See, I go into old Chinese woman mode sometimes. Why you call now? My husband just died, and now you call me? Not even 3 days. You don't give me 3 days to mourn husband, you bad people.
That was a really bad Chinese accent, I've got to say.
I hope so.
Josh.
Oh,
really,
Gary Shandling. By the way, Gary Shandling taught me Do you know how to do a Chinese accent?
Go on.
Take your finger. Now this is not Chili's
Oh,
already
here we
going.
go. Here
No,
we
no,
go.
no. You take your finger and you put it right behind your front teeth. Chili, I just want to tell you that it's so good to have you on the show today. We are so happy that you are here. That's how you do a Chinese. That's Gary Shandling taught me that, so it's safe.
Chinese person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The mask collector's with us. He says that's why his life is in a mask. No one knows anything about me here in Parts Unknown. He comes on my show all the time and says, "Greetings from Parts Unknown." Have no idea.
I think it's in Nebraska. I think Parts Unknown is in Nebraska.
Well, actually, I was thinking it was up there with you in Minnesota.
No, 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 no.
Did you
Because
say a place called Parts Unknown?
yeah.
There's a place called Parts Unknown.
Hang on,
I'll
tell you in a second.
Hang on.
Here he goes with Google again. He's going to ask, what's her name? Elizabeth or something? No, that's...
Okay, there's a
Elizabeth.
short story written by Francis Keyes in 1938.
Oh, yeah, you know who Francis Keyes was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He wrote the national anthem or some damn thing.
No, that's Francis Scott Key. This is Francis Parkinson Key.
Oh, yeah, that's Francis Scott Keyes.
Anthony Bourdain, of
brother.
course, went to Parts Unknown for almost every one of his shows, so you know it exists.
I kind of miss Anthony Bourdain. I liked him.
You know, he had no, I don't want to get on the take your own life conversation here, but I am so angry at that man. He had so much more to give or to become a recluse and not be giving anymore. Fine with that. But, he left like a 13-year-old daughter. There is other ways to check out than what he did. I'm enough said.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
All right, so now
anyway,
everybody is
nobody gets scammed by these individuals that I'd like to say certain words about. See you next Thursday and things like that, and definitely no. Just always check things out. It's like do you know what gets me though? Have you seen on Facebook? Somebody will say we're giving away X. 600,000 people will like and share it and comment.
All my friends, and you're in Crookston, they send me those where they've signed up to get a free motorhome, a free small house, a tiny house, a vacation trips to Punta Cunta, Quanta, whatever it is. And it's like, folks, not one of these are even close to legit.
Yeah.
Do you have companies masquerading as other companies so they'll have the same names and things? So you might have Heinz and Heinz. Well, the best way to check on Facebook is to look for a green tick that means they're official, and also look back and see when they started, when that page started, because if it started 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
it's definitely not going to be Heinz 57, is it? You know what I mean?
The other thing that I watch out for all the time when these things bombard me is if you look at their address on the internet. They're always something really strange, not anything like it should be.
Same as a little hint for you. If you get an email with something and you think it looks legitimate, click on the email and look where it's come from, because I can guarantee 99% of the time it won't have the email address at heinz.co.uk or at wherever it is. It'll be some stupid random email that you can never ever respond to. It's just being careful out there, isn't it? They get cleverer and cleverer, and then when we get onto it and know what's what, they then try and find another way. So,
and I just happen to have a list of those not quite the real business names. Are you ready?
There we go. Okay. Come on.
Ready. Planet of the Grapes.
Yes.
Lord of the Fries. Titanic. Walk, W-O-K, walk this way. Pho, in England is pho, Pho. It's a Vietnamese soup. Is it popular there?
Yeah.
Pho shizzle.
Oh, shizzle.
Mustard's Last Stand. Life
These all
of
sound
Pi. What?
great names for new restaurants if we all want to open a restaurant, aren't they?
Exactly. Life of Pi. What's
Life
that a
of
spoof
Pi.
on? Life of
I think
Pi
there is.
R square.
I'm
no,
sure there's a restaurant in Manchester called Life of Pie.
probably is. Earth, Wind, and Flower. Sweet
Gee.
Cheeses.
Sweet Jesus.
And I'll end at Fishkotech.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
dance with fishes.
Oh,
Yeah. But if you have a nail salon, rather, not a saloon. I wonder if there's a salon. But anyway, how about Jack the Clipper?
Well, that would be good.
Jack the Clipper.
Mass Collector says to also watch out for what you present on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
People give them way too much information. I think that's probably a good warning as well.
And on everything. It's not just LinkedIn. It's Facebook, TikTok.
The problem is, I think, and we're all probably very guilty of it. Very easily, we will share so much information with not even thinking about it. You think, oh, I'll fill that in because I want to get information, or I'll fill this in, or I want to look at that. And as soon as you put that information on the Tinterweb, it's really bad. Now, I'll go back on something over here that happened a few years ago, but there was a travel agent over here that scammed people out of money. And there was booking. Originally, she started off taking the money, and then booking holidays when they became cheaper, and it was late on, and it barrel rolled into the fact she couldn't afford to book them anyway. So, long and short of it is she ended up like conning people out of a lot of money. Now over on the internet, there was a tour operator put something out this week saying, "Oh, make sure you know who you're booking with, and don't book over social media." Well, as agents, we were up in arms because my business is built on social media, on Facebook. I'm a reputable agent, and you're tarring me with what happened with that person. It's like, and then they changed it. Luckily, they had a backlash from the whole travel community, but then they reworded what was said and booked with a reputable independent travel agent, proper sort of wording. But yeah, we were up in arms about it. It was like, hang on a moment. But yeah, so there's even people out there that do it in the travel industry, which is wrong. Not as often, I'll be honest with you. It's very, very rare. I think anybody that comes into this industry comes into it for a passion, to look after people, but you do get the odd rotten egg that passes through and things like that. But yeah, so that was something that came. I think she just got, I think, 10 years or 15 years in prison or something. So
wonderful. Not enough.
Yeah, not enough.
But yeah, but I think she got suspended, which was annoying. So, but I'd have thrown away the key.
All right. Well, I'm getting ready to go cruising again.
Now, where are we headed to this time?
He's never bloody at home.
I try not to be. What do you mean? I've been home for 10 days, which is entirely too long.
Too long.
Where are we off to and when we going?
Well, on Wednesday, I drive up to Baltimore, and I'm taking a cold weather cruise for 8 days out of Baltimore. I get back into Baltimore and I get on an airplane and I fly to Fort Lauderdale where I can warm up. And from Fort Lauderdale, I'm going on a full transit of the Panama Canal and I end up in San Diego, California.
Wow.
That
and from there, I probably have to hitchhike home. But
why? Because you can't afford the plane ticket.
If you see this big old fat crippled guy out on the highway with his thumb out, pick me up, folks.
Is that because you spend so much on cruises you can't afford the airfare to fly back?
No, he spends so much on his plumbing, and it's a bunch of crap.
Oh.
Yeah, the plumbing's killing me this week.
Jeez.
I'm reasonably sure what's going on today will top the $3,000 mark.
Oh, dread to ask.
Oh.
Dread to ask.
I could build you a separate little building where you could do your bodily functions for, I'm thinking, $800.
Yeah,
I'll do it for 795.
we have one of those buildings here already.
Oh,
Actually,
okay, all right.
we used to have one of those buildings. We don't have it anymore.
I still have ours.
Yeah, well,
It's out in the trees.
I don't. It was
So who's
certainly
go?
it was a ghastly experience.
So who are we sailing with this time?
Royal Caribbean on the first one out of
Royal
Baltimore
Caribbean, if you're in the UK.
Enchantment of the Seas.
Oh, I need to send you $16.95 then.
What for?
Well, if you want a second lobster tail on RC now, it's $16.95.
The charge extra now.
Yep.
Jeez.
And then I'm getting on the Zandam, a Holland America ship, one of those dam ships. So
That'll be nice.
the Zandam is more of the size that I really like. That's one of the things I'm old fashioned about. I like the old style cruise ships.
See, I like them, but I like the big ones now. I do like a big one. Plenty to do.
The big ones, but still, I like sailing on some of the older, smaller ships a lot.
Thing is, they're not going to be around forever, so you need to get back on. And if you've been around once, look what happened after the last couple of years. A lot of them went under scrap heap, didn't they?
Now, speaking of those damn ships, have you heard what's happened to a couple?
Hang on, I thought you were going to say, speaking of the scrap
Holland
heap.
America ships?
No,
the Veendam and, oh God, what was the other one? It used to be the Veendam and Ryan Dam, which changed hands several times since they were sold in 2020.
okay.
They're now owned by Victory Cruise Line, and they've been turned into to residential ships, but they're doing it a little bit differently. They're renting the cabins for a monthly fee.
Oh, monthly or a yearly? Yeah, yep.
Yeah, no, it's from a lot cheaper than the ones that are for the year.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can do the interior cabin if you want to do that. It's like $100 a day per person. So
But
it's
is it
relatively
double occupancy? You can't get it for $3,000 for one person.
Hang on a minute. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I just happen to have that right here. Okay, affordable lifestyles at sea, formerly Carnival Cruise brand. Yeah, the Ryan Dam and the Veen Dam, which changed several hands. Where's the money here? Let's get down to it. They'll spend 7 days in each port. The ship itself will do a round the world cruise. According to the company, guests booking the lowest cost inside cabins can rent the space for $79.99 per month for 2 people. Ocean View cabins, $10,999 per month for 2 people.
How much? Say that again.
$799 per month for 2 people. So that's, let's say, $4,000 each for a month.
$7,999. So at $4,000. Yeah. I thought you said $799. I was going to say I'm in. I'm on my way.
But internet costs $144 a day.
Actually,
we'd all be booked then.
They've got 50% of the staterooms booked. It includes, what does it include? It includes stateroom rentals on ships include all dining, beer and wine, internet access, self-laundry, weekly housekeeping, onboard facilities, and medical support. And they're former cruise ships, so they got all the amenities. They got a casino and they got a theater and stuff to do. 4 restaurants. I mean, 2 pools, a
A lot of
spa and
money.
fitness
That's
center almost.
$4,000.
I mean, I've been looking at them where the costs were like, you had this, you were spending $250,000 or something. Well, they're
Well,
actually, this is coming into something that, more normal folks can actually afford. So
that's £3,327 per month. It's a lot of money.
Per person. Per person.
Per person. But then it's all your food included or not? You have to
Yeah,
buy
but a
food.
lot of people book the
Beer and
Haven
wine's
on.
included.
A lot of people book the Haven on an NCL ship for 15,000 for a week.
Yeah.
So
When you look at it that way, yeah. Well, that being said, thinking about great things, did anybody see MSC launch their 2025? Now we're only in 2023. Their
The
World Cruise.
Yeah, I had that on my show this morning.
116 nights.
Yeah.
It's a bargain deal. Absolutely. But I think it's a bargain anyway. It's
I
less
wish
than
I
100
could
quid a
afford doing that because I'd jump all over it. Or maybe if I could con one of these cruise lines into, having somebody to report from around the world daily on what's happening on their boats, I'd be more than happy to do it for them.
you could find somebody with that talent and share a room with them then.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I'd have to come and carry the cases. we'll share a triple bunk. I'll have the fold down bed. I'm not bothered about having
I make John come along as the cameraman. How's that?
Cameraman and scam detector.
And scam detector. That would work.
Chief scam detector.
What am I going to do? Hang on. What am I going to do in this little menage a trois?
Well, we'll come up with something kinky.
Well, you take this finger. You'd be our interpreter because we don't speak British English.
British English. We only speak American English.
Yeah, so you'd have to be our interpreter.
It's not the proper Queen's English.
Knowing what a lorry is.
Or the King's English now. It is the proper King's English. Well, anyway, no, I just looked and thought for the price of that, it's a bargain. It is a bargain.
And how much is it?
£1,499 for an inside cabin for 116 nights.
Wait a minute, back up the ship here. How much again?
£14,999.
I heard 1,400. 14,000.
Did I say 100?
I understand it's still a deal. Yeah. Hey.
So what's that? I mean,
$22,000.
Divide by 116. Yeah, it's £129 a night in pounds. Now that you get some bargains. You get some drinks included with your meals. You get discount on your laundry. I think it is. I should think so. When you're going for 116 nights, you'd have to wash your knickers somewhere, won't you, John?
I just bring new. I just bring enough for a new one every day.
Well, this is it. You bring all your old ones and get rid of them at the end of the cruise,
That's what I'm telling you. That was always my question, like for the king and the queen and stuff. They don't wash the king's T-shirts, do they?
Yeah.
No, it's got to be cheaper to just have new ones all the time.
No, it's not good for the environment either. They wouldn't do that.
Not good for the environment who flies a private plane to an environmental conference. Yeah, and you're worried about a little soap and water on a T-shirt.
I love it. Oh, but anyway, so if anybody is listening out there and wants to send me, Chili, and John on a 116-night cruise in 2025, I'm sure we can find space in our diary, can't we?
We do need the upgraded room, though. We need the veranda. We need
veranda.
The room. Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
2 steps up. There's inside, outside, and veranda.
Right. So 19,679 divided by 116. It's only £169 a night for a balcony.
I can drink that much, So hey, it works. It's okay.
I would make sure and drink that much at dinner and get my money's worth. I'd be walking around with the same glass of wine after dinner all night.
Hey, you're not going to have wine. You're going to have a damn gin.
No. Beer and wine is included. Hard liquor's not.
That's on my ships, not on his
okay.
ship.
He'd have to be on a gin vacation.
On MSC, you'd have to have the gin.
Could you imagine your bar bill at the end of 116 nights?
Well, I can imagine mine. It would be zero, but But
Mine
chili,
would mine wouldn't be
Well,
zero. I'd have to have a drinks package if
yeah,
I was
I
on a boat
think.
that long.
okay, so here's a different quiz then. If would you go on that cruise, but the deal is not any alcohol or
Oh
sugar
yeah.
can cross your lips.
No. Well,
Oh,
now,
hang on.
well,
I can.
if I could have my Diet Coke, I'd be okay.
Ooh, that's no, but the concept is that meat and vegetables, and you'd be healthier at the end.
Would you
And
though? Would you though? Would you be healthier? Because you'd be eating three-course dinners, lunch, breakfast for 160 nights. You
yes, you
wouldn't be
would be
healthier.
healthier if you
I
just
don't think
switched
that.
if you
Uh,
just switched to meat and vegetables, no other rules, you'd be healthier.
I tell you what, Bethany said this morning that she's been on an Azamara now for, let's see, I guess she's been on about 14 days now down in South America. This morning, she had them deliver her breakfast to her cabin, which she sat out on the balcony, a bowl of Cheerios and a glass of orange juice. She says, I've eaten so damn much food. I just had to have a day off.
That's right.
You do, you do. It's because it's just such rich food as well, and you're eating, you overeat on a cruise, and not because you're greedy. It's because it's there. I mean, literally, let's look at a typical day as a cruiser. So you get up in the morning, you go for breakfast at the buffet. You might go for a coffee after breakfast, after a walk. Then it's 11:30, 11:45, so they're setting up for lunch. So you then go for your lunch. Then after lunch, you sort of think, I'm sat by the pool, the ice cream machine's going. I'll have an ice cream. You've got to do it. By which time it's 4 o'clock and they're doing afternoon tea, and cakes, and so some places do sushi and wine. Then it's 6 o'clock, it's dinner. Then you go after dinner, you go and have another drink, and then suddenly it's the midnight buffet. You just eat through the day and you can't help it, because it's just there. I
Now,
I do it. I love it.
I will say one thing. Now, I've been on now 22 cruises since last January. And on 22 cruises, I have never had a bite of ice cream.
Why?
What fortitude! I can't believe it, Chili. What a constitution you have to be able to swear off ice
Now,
cream.
I don't say that on other desserts, but I've never fallen prey to the ice cream wines.
Oh, then I got to share this with you. Back some years ago, I was always going out for a fish fry with several nun friends from the monastery.
Okay.
And after the fish fry, we'd always go to the Dairy Queen. But there was one nun, and God bless her soul, I love her dearly, but she had for Lent, she had sworn off any kind of desserts. But she had a caveat. Anything that could come through a straw was okay. So she always had a little adult malted milk from the Dairy Queen because that it met the requirements.
If
it
it's
came through a
liquefied, it's
straw.
not ice cream, is it? I agree with that. It's a milkshake.
Well, it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting, seriously speaking, it's going to be interesting to see how I do with basically, let's see, 8 and 17, like 25 straight days.
Wow.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And this trip, other than a break to fly from Baltimore to Fort Lauderdale, get on another boat.
It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
It's I've not done that many days before, so it'll be interesting.
And look at the time. I gotta open the
You
store.
got to go get your store open.
Great to see you, Martin.
Go ahead.
You
Be
too.
careful of the frauds and scams out there, folks. Feel free to check with us. I think between the three of us, we can identify anything. Have a great day, a great week, and we'll see you all next Thursday.
Yes, thank
See
you
you
very much,
later.
amigo John. And next
Right.
Thursday, you guys may be doing the show yourself because that is sail away day for me on Enchantment of the Seas. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm hoping maybe to be on board if they let me in a little early because my time's not till 1, my appointment. But I'll go over there a little early and try to get on. If I can get on and quickly hook up my internet, I'll be able to join in. But
Cool.
so anyway, it'll be all set up, and John can at least start the show, and you coming. I'll have sent you the link early in the
No
morning
worries.
on Thursday.
Cool.
So
Cool. So you're going to be doing 3 shows from a ship then in the next 23 weeks.
oh yeah, I won't be. I do my shows every day, and then the Cruise Amigos normally, as long as I've got Wi-Fi, yes, I will be doing them. The only, because of time constraints on the sailaway day, there's not 100% guarantee on that one, but beyond that, because it's the next week, it's an 8-day cruise, so I don't get off until Friday, so I'll be on the following Thursday, and then I fly to Fort Lauderdale and sail on Saturday, and I get off on, I don't remember what day in San Diego.
It'd be good to see the Holland America ship though. I'm looking forward to that. So
yeah, well, I love Holland America. I mean, that's, I get asked all the time, what's your favorite cruise line? And I mean, that's difficult for me because I love all of them. But purely for food, Holland America's the best for me.
I've not done Holland America.
For everything, I like Royal Caribbean. But I mean, that's just so hard for me to delineate. I mean, I started off with Carnival. That was all I knew for my first 22, 23 cruises. So obviously, I don't dislike Carnival. Although as I've gotten older, I'm not as loud, drunk, bunches partier that I used to be.
I can't go out raving anymore. That's what you mean.
Yeah, hell no. I go to bed early. I sometimes have trouble making it to the show.
Oh, jeez.
Quite often.
See, I'm the other way when I go on a cruise. I'm like, I still think I'm 18 and I'm up till God knows what hour. Or if I go to bed before 1 o'clock, I'm like, no, I should be out partying still.
Yeah, but see, I can still get up at 4.
Oh, no.
When I'm on a cruise, I'm still up at 4. But you also got to keep in mind I've got, medication to deal with as well. Because I have to take my pills 2 hours before I plan on eating anything.
Oh, jeez.
So if I'm going to make breakfast at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I've got to have taken those pills before 5. So I'm guaranteed I'm up. Plus I research anything that's happened on your side of the pond, which that's
Yeah, that's it. You probably find it out before I wake up.
yeah, quite often. I do. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was just like you brought up MSC today. That was one of my stories on the show this morning.
I just saw it. I was like, oh, I quite fancy that, but I can't take that time off work. But then again, I can work from anywhere selling holidays.
You have that chance at least. And here's another one for you to consider, which I was not aware of. I mean, I've never sailed on Azamara, but Bethany is on. This is her second ocean cruise on Azamara, and she's had phenomenal Wi-Fi all around South America from Buenos Aires. She gets to Rio, I think it's tomorrow or maybe the next day, and then back to Buenos Aires again. And she's been able to work a number of days on the ship.
I think these cruise lines have got to really pick up on this internet because it's been so sporadic and not worked, or then you'll be on and it'll disconnect, and they need to be on the ball now because so much of life is online.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, I had a great experience with Breakaway from Norwegian because they already have the Starlink system. That was the test cruise for Norwegian. And apparently at some point in time, they're, if they'll get off the money, that'll be installed in the rest of their ship because it certainly does work well on Breakaway.
Hopefully the others take it on as well then, and things get better.
Asimera is not the Starlink system, but whatever system they're using, it works well. So
maybe
they had a really good experience with them.
I swear it's the number of people on it. If you've got a ship where not many people are on the internet, because maybe the age and the demographic isn't that kind of group, then you're going to have a better signal. But if you get like the other week when you had the vloggers cruise, you're going to get potentially, I know it's Starlink, but on other ships, the system would have crashed. You wouldn't have been able to do anything.
I was expecting to have problems, and I didn't, and that's with all 900 people were vlogging and blogging and uploading and downloading and cross-loading and who knows what all they did.
It was a good test for the system anyway, so.
Man, it was it was. And for me, to not have a single complaint, that's pretty amazing.
That's good. Anyway, we've wasted another hour, Chili.
We have. It is the end of the hour. I've been on the air for 2 hours today already.
Far too long.
I need to go rest my butt.
Rest your mouth.
Yeah, well, I'll do that too. So, anyway, that's going to wrap us up for another week. Next Thursday, folks, there'll be another version of the Cruise Amigos, maybe with chili and maybe without chili. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
At least it'll be Amigo Martin and Amigo John. Anyway, Martin, thank you as always. And everybody, thank you for being with us today. And by the way, Eddie's with us. Hi, Eddie. Yo, Brooklyn in the house. All right, that's going to wrap it up. See everybody next time. Bye, y'all.